the Deadites on Deck crew. Come join us on the channel and the horror shop. Evil Dead Chick and her pals. Ho! Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel and Vincent the Ghoul.
We love horror and heavy metal. We love to entertain and inform. And best of all,
We love to have fun.
we are the Deadites on Deck crew.
Stop by and see us today.
They're all messed up.
Beyond recognition. Yeah, they're all messed up, skinned and alive, chainsaw ripped apart, magnified. All messed up, dead, yeah, dead. All messed up. Punctured eyes, blocked out, chopped up like firewood. Yeah, they're all messed up.
Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man.
Can't sleep, no matter how hard you try. The Sandman is hiding, he won't work his magic. What is the answer to the bill collector of rest, who has come calling on your past to account? You need an insomnia cure. Scanner shelves for just the right Coma tonic. Coma tonic. Nighty night, my sleep-deprived friend, drift off to dreamland, visit us again soon.
Howdy, gang. Hey, kids. Hey, the poet, and welcome to yet another edition of Insomnia Cure. Here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about horror films that I feel like would put you to sleep from 1974 to 1975. And I've got a total of 10 films to talk about, 5 for each year, which was unusual because usually it doesn't work out like that. But that's what I've got. But I hope you guys and gals enjoyed the new intro to Insomnia Cure. I kind of tried to ramp it up a little bit and improve on it. And you'll notice a female ghoul there. That is a new character that's going to be added to the Deadites on Deck crew. This is Raven the Ghoul, and she is Vincent's girlfriend. So I hope you enjoyed seeing her make an appearance. There's going to be a special song all about her, and I may put out a promo with her. So I hope you guys and gals enjoyed that. I hope it, added to, the enjoyment of my streams and stuff like that, because I'm really trying to make even these intros as creative as I can be with them. So I just want to remind everybody that there should be a They're All Messed Up tomorrow night. And that should be starting. You liked it, DePoe? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. At 8 p.m. Eastern time, if all goes well, I should be on here at my regular time, talking about a couple movies and the kills in these movies. So be sure to tune in for that if you can. And I don't know, I may have something on Friday. I'm just not sure yet. But for those of you that are interested in checking out my new special Angels Without Wings, and you haven't checked it out yet, it's not very long, a little over 30 minutes long. Won't take too much of your time. So if you're interested in watching that, feel free. And, if anybody has any thoughts on that, if they thought it was good, bad, just meh, I take any and all forms of constructive criticism. So I just want to remind you guys and gals that there are several different ways that you can support me and the channel, and it won't cost you a dime. And one of those ways is by subscribing. Again, there's never a bad time to subscribe to not only my channel, but also anybody else's channel that you're enjoying the content that they're putting out. And once you hit that subscribe button, you can hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content I've got coming out. You can also share a particular video or stream that I did that you particularly enjoyed or got something out of. Maybe it was very informative or whatever, and you want to share it with other people, and you can tag my channel handle at Deadites on Deck in the shared video or stream. And I want to thank Kits again for bringing that up. You can also hit like on any of the videos and streams that I do that you especially enjoy. And hey, if you like it all, hit that like button all across the board, folks. And here's one more way that you can support me and the channel. It won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. It kind of goes hand in hand with Kits' suggestion, is to share with friends and family members that you think might also enjoy the content I'm putting out. Share my channel handle with them at Deadites on Deck. And if you feel so inclined and you are financially able, be sure to visit my shop at deaditesondeck.com. It's really easy. If you can remember the name of my channel, you can certainly remember the name of my shop site. If you're not if you're not a horror fan, or you are a horror fan, you don't see exactly the design or what you were wanting, hey, there's a handy dandy form on the homepage of my shop site. Please fill it out and let me know what it is you so desire. If you're my friend on Facebook and you want to drop me a Facebook message and say, hey, Dana, I got this idea. I want to, have a shirt custom made for a friend or family member. And this is what I want on it. If you've got a business or side business, a friend or family member's got a business or side business that you want to put some logos on shirts. If you don't know what kind of logo exactly, if you don't have one already designed to hand over to me to do the pressing, tell me what it is that you kind of, want to do with it. And I will work, excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. I choked. Let me know kind of sort of what it is that you're wanting to do, and I will work with you to create a logo. And I will not rest until we get the logo that you want, right? So if I send you a proof of a logo and you're saying, yeah, that's kind of like what I want, but not exactly, right? And I also will give a bulk discount on if you want to order shirts or hats or what have you in bulk. I will give you a bulk discount. And also, I've got a flat rate of shipping of $6. That doesn't matter if you buy one item, 10 items, 50 items, 200 items, it's still going to be $6 shipping. Okay. Sorry. You can also join my channel. You can join my Patreon. I still need to fix some things with the joining of the channel. But if you want to go ahead and join for the $5 a month, because that's what I'm going to be lowering it down to one tier eventually. That's going to be $5 a month, and you'll get some pretty cool perks with that. So I just wanted to put that out there again. And so hopefully I won't keep coughing through this. I don't know. I got choked on my own spit or something. I know it's gross, but I don't know if that happens to you guys and gals out there, but I do that from time to time. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this edition of Insomnia Cure. And I own some of these movies, or Steve owns some of these movies, but I was too lazy to go pull them all out. So I've just got some images to show you guys and gals. So we're going to get started with 1974. And the first one is House of Psychotic Women. They're hell on earth with love lust and bloodlust that will shock you out of your seat and mind. That is a kick-ass poster, folks. And just based on the poster, I would want to see it, right? But folks, this is another Paul Naschy movie. And apparently Paul Naschy is on the run from the cops because they think he's been killing people. And it's called House of Psychotic Women, but really, they're not psychotic to me. This makes it look like, Paul Naschy's going to go into a lion's den, and then these women are going to attack him and try to kill him. And it's just not that at all, folks. Not a whole lot happens in this movie. And that's why I have this on this edition of Insomnia Cure. So, and it's not a very good movie overall either. Now, you big fans of Paul Naschy out there, you may enjoy it. If you're a fan of Greasy Paul Naschy, you might love this film, but I did not. And it made it sleepy time for Dana, basically. So that's House of Psychotic Women. Not a whole lot else I can say about that. Now, the poet may be surprised once again. Yeah, the poet, maybe a remake of House of Psychotic Women is exactly what we need, right? Now, the poet, you may be surprised that I've got House of Whipcord on here, because this is one that I talked about for the Pete Walker special I did. But again, House of Whipcord is marketed as a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie. And again, sorry, Pete Walker. I love Pete Walker slashers. All right. And House of Whipcord is not a slasher. To me, it's slow. It shouldn't have been marketed as a horror movie. It's a women in prison movie at best. And if you like that sort of thing, you like that sort of thing. But that was not what I was looking for when I watched this film. Now, again, this may be one that if I wait a little while and I watch it again, maybe I'll like it better. I just don't like being lied to, folks. And I'm sure many of you guys and gals don't. And I'm not saying this was Pete Walker's fault that the audience was lied to. It's whoever does the marketing for it. They wanted to market it as a horror movie. Therefore, that's what it was marketed as. Now, if you look at this poster, it could kind of make you think women in prison type of movie. Many young girls have entered these gates. None have yet come out. But that tagline sounds very ominous and like you're in for, a treat if you're a horror fan, right? And so that's what I mean when I say I don't like being lied to. And I don't think anybody on this planet likes being lied to. And, systematically being fooled into watching something that's not what you expected it to be, right? So, again, sorry, Pete Walker, that this one didn't do it for me as far as a horror movie, and it was a little too slow for my liking. All right. So the next one, I think this was one I watched with Steve. This is Shriek of the Mutilated. As you can see, this is like a Yeti, abominable snowman, Bigfoot, whatever you want to, Yeti, it's probably more of a Yeti type of film. Now, normally I'm not a fan of these films, and that's probably why I have this on this edition of Insomnia Cure, because it looks like it would be good. It looks like it'd be exciting and bloody and, all of that. And I'm not against monster films per se. I like a fair amount of monster films. And I like Bigfoot films if they're entertaining, like Legend of Boggy Creek. Steve really got me into the Legend of Boggy Creek. And I like that for the sheer audacity of this movie, the entertainment value of the movie, instead of me focusing so much on the monster. It had some, Legend of Boggy Creek has some good scares in it. There's no doubt about that. But this not only talks about a Yeti or whatever you want to call it, but an evil cannibal cult. And it never really delivers, folks. And that's why I have it on this edition of Insomnia Cure. So that is Shriek the Mutilated. And the next one I watched kind of recently, possibly for They're All Messed Up. And I think this was one that Steve warned me that he didn't think I was going to like. Janet Agron's in this from City of the Living Dead. She's very young in this. And this is the Killer Reserved 9 Seats, in case you can't read the I don't know if that's Italian or what it is for sure. I think it's Italian. So basically, all these people who couldn't get along no matter what could happen. You have a married couple who all the woman wants to do is fool around with other guys. She's there at this theater where they've been invited by the guy that owns the theater to come and spend an evening there, I guess. But there's a story, a legend about this theater, that members of the guy that owns the theater, members of his family, have all died very tragic deaths. And so, needless to say, people start getting killed off. But let me tell you, folks, this movie has no build up. It has no characters that you can get behind. It was one of those movies where I didn't like any of the characters. They were just that. Well, Janet Agron was okay, but I think I gave her a pass because I've seen her in Fulci City of the Living Dead. And the fact that she was young, she maybe didn't have her acting chops yet. But some of the rest of these people, like, they might as well been cardboard cutouts. And you sit them there and somebody gets behind them and talks. No personality whatsoever. Nobody you could really root for in this movie. And there were long stretches, and I'm talking about extremely long stretches, where nothing happens, right? Absolutely nothing happens. So it has to go into 1974's Insomnia Cure for me. There may be some of you guys and gals that like it out there, and that's okay. Again, these are just ones that would be an Insomnia Cure for me. All right. So the last one I think I may have covered for They're All Messed Up as well. Again, I don't like being lied to, folks. And just by looking at this, Jordan, I don't watch General Hospital. I used to once upon a time, so I don't know anything about Maxie Jones or anything like that. I have seen Frankenhooker, though. I enjoy that movie a lot. But from looking at the poster, folks, you would think that this is a sex fest, which it pretty much is. With, and this is also the one where I could not find a version of it where you could see the killings. It would cut every time there was a killing in it. So, yeah, it's got Claudia Jennings in it. Claudia Jennings, taking her clothes on, stuff like that. But I don't even think you saw the nudity. So, unless somebody can find an uncut version of the Single Girls, if you like a lot of female flesh, you ain't going to see that. And if you're looking for a slasher film, you ain't going to find that either. Now, again, maybe if I had been able to watch the uncut version, maybe I would have liked it a little bit better in the horror department. But it says half clad, all bad. If they couldn't get him easy, they got him hard. I mean, it's just like, what does this movie want to be? What does this movie want to be? And Searching for a Man was a way of life. Again, sorry, folks. You marketed this as a slasher film, as a horror film, and I got lied to. And being lied to makes me angry. So, if you want to, seek out the uncut version, if you're a huge fan of Claudia Jennings, I don't mind Claudia Jennings, to be honest, folks. I do not mind Claudia Jennings. But I'm not looking to see her naked. I'm looking maybe to see her acting ability in films or what kind of films that she was in. Because Claudia Jennings was also in the Texas Dynamite Chase, and I like that film. That's one that I've watched with Steve. But The Single Girls, this just was absolutely not for me. Exactly, kids. You say nothing about this poster says slasher, but yet it's marketed as a slasher. But the poster, poster says otherwise. But I didn't really see the poster prior to seeing it, so I was under the impression that, I was going to see some slashing in this. Sorry. Yeah. This one has to go in the pile with the Insomnia Cure stuff for 1974. All right. So now we're moving into 1975. And the first film I've got in here, this list is Autopsy with Mimsy Farmer. Now, I don't dislike Mimsy Farmer per se, but her performance in this movie is dull as dull can be from my memory. And it says, there is one horror that goes beyond the living dead. It'll take you apart. Now, again, the poster, although not as flashy as some, would get me interested, right? But I don't expect grade A acting when I'm watching a horror and or slasher film, especially these low budget cheapies from the 70s, the 80s. But come on, folks, give me something here. There was just very little to enjoy about this movie. I'll just say that. And you even had Ray Lovelock on this as well, folks. So, but you couldn't even harp on Mimsy Farmer's acting for very long with this movie, just because everything else was just so dull. This one probably could stand a remake as well if somebody wanted to remake it. But yeah, this movie just didn't do it for me. Again, it may be one that maybe if I waited a little bit and watched it again, I may have different thoughts about it. But as of right now, I consider it kind of a dud, folks. All right. So the next one, Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary, I covered kind of recently for They're All Messed Up. But again, there's not a lot of anything that goes on in this movie. And this is something that they could have done so much with. There just wasn't enough killing for me. They didn't really lie to me and say this was a slasher and it turned into be like a sex fest or something. But it just, I kept waiting for it to get moving, to get going, to really get churning. And it never did. It was just too moody and too much da 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 going from scene, dancing from scene to scene. They were waltzing from scene to scene, and there were too many scenes where nothing really happened. Nothing really moved the movie along, and nothing served to enhance the plot. So I was just kind of left feeling that this movie was bloodless in a lot of ways, even though it's called Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary, and this is a fantastic poster here. This is my favorite poster, I think, for this movie. but it was so many missed opportunities, folks, was what this movie was. Too many missed opportunities. All right. Now, I haven't seen this one for a while, folks, and I did not refresh myself on this, but this is Satan's Black Wedding. And I have it on a double feature with Criminally Insane, which is the Crazy Fat Ethel movie. And if you don't know what those are, check those out. That movie is way, way more entertaining than Satan's Black Wedding. I'm not sure why they decided to do a double feature DVD with these two films. Maybe because they came out the same year or something. I don't know. But it says A Blood Marriage of Ghouls, but this is just dead weight. Complete dead weight. There was nothing that I can recall. It's from the creators of Criminally Insane. Okay, that explains why they had a double feature. I didn't see that until just now. They did a lot better job with Criminally Insane than they did with Satan's Black Wedding. I'll just be totally honest. Yeah, you'll have fun with Criminally Insane and Ethel and all that. But I can't see anybody really having a good time with Satan's Black Wedding. And again, this may be another one. Maybe if I give myself some time, then I drag out that old DVD and give it another watch. Maybe my thoughts have changed, but my memories of this is it ain't very good, folks, and it ain't very interesting. If you want to watch something entertaining and outrageous and over the top, watch Criminally Insane. I think you would do a lot better with that movie. All right, so. And some people might take offense at the next one I'm going to show, but guys, I'm a Sonny Chiba fan to some extent, but I did not like this movie. I tried to watch this with Steve because he's a huge Sonny Chiba fan, and that's Wolf Guy. And of course, Arrow did put out a Blu-ray of this. I think Joe Bob showed Wolf Guy. I think maybe that's where I was trying to watch it, and I just couldn't get into it. I just could not get into it. Sonny Chiba, he ain't bad. He wasn't a bad actor, And Steve actually got to meet him several years before he passed away. Unfortunately, I believe he has passed away. But, I'm all for werewolf movies and stuff like that. I like a fair amount of werewolf movies, but this one just didn't have enough to it for me. And seemed to kind of do that waltzing thing, that sing-song thing, where you kept waiting for something really meaty to happen, and I just didn't feel like that it got there. It tried. I will say it tried. But for me, it just didn't, like I said, it didn't have that extra oomph for me. So again, people may disagree with this choice or some of my other choices that I've gotten. That's okay. I'd love to hear what you guys and gals think about some of these movies if you've seen them. And if you watch them after my stream just because you're curious, well, Dana said this is boring. I'm going to, try it out. Then, you might watch it and you might agree with me or you might disagree with me. But I'd love to hear in the comments even if you watch these later and you say, hey, Dana was totally wrong about that. I love this film. I would love to hear y'all's opinions on it. So that's Wolf Guy. And the last one I want to talk about is one I talked about not very long ago, for They're All Messed Up. And that's Psycho from Texas, aka Wheeler. And you can see the character Wheeler there. They offered a stranger kindness and hospitality, and their quite southern town erupted into violence and death. But folks, again, this could have been so much better. But there were so many missed opportunities with the Wheeler character. Yeah, he was a bad dude, and he did some bad things. But especially towards the end of it, it was one of those where I kept waiting for something really outrageously bad to happen in the movie. And it never did. And then, God bless Linnea Quigley. I love her. I've met her several years ago and she was really sweet. I have no problems with Linnea Quigley. But this was kind of just a goofy ass way to end this movie with Wheeler making Linnea Quigley's barmaid character take off all of her clothes. He pours beer on her and he keeps making her dance and she's crying and everything. And that's basically almost the ending of the movie. I mean, you kind of get a fade out with that. And I'm like, is that it? Is that all there is? And also for Wheeler to take out, I think it's a cop. He takes him out so easily. I'm like, what? Why can't we have some elaborate shootout or something? An elaborate chase on foot. So, it kind of just petered out at the end, basically. After such a big build-up, I was just totally expecting more. Yeah, it was low budget. It actually says PG on the poster. I want to say that it looked like, some of the material looked like rated R material, but who knows? It could be possible that it was PG, and maybe that's why I didn't get everything that I was expecting, right? So, normally these go on a little bit longer, but I didn't want to bore you guys and gals with just kind of beating a dead horse. But I guess that is all I've got for tonight. Be on the lookout for They're All Messed Up tomorrow night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully I shall be on here. I hope again that y'all enjoyed the new intro for Insomnia Cure, the new animated intro with Raven the Ghoul singing the Insomnia Cure song. And I guess that's it. And as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do, the poet, you say you're right. All these movies make me tired. But as I was saying, be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night, folks. We're halfway through our week. Hopefully everybody's going to have the weekend off. And I'll see everybody next time.